I've been getting a lot of emails wondering if I'm still doing my videos, and I really think that there is a need for them. So, yes, I am still doing my videos, and we are going to do a position review from a photo that someone has sent in. If you'd like to have your own position review done, send me an email, thistleridge@hotmail.com, and put position review in the subject line. Received this image from somebody who would like to have their position review done, and thank you so much for sending this in. And we're going to go over general things and then get into more specific things. Right off the bat, looks like you're in a horse show. Like that you can see the number here of this rider, 413. It's easy to see. Make sure that your number's easily seen by the judge or the in-gate people so that they can tell the judge what your number is. If it's difficult to find your number and difficult to see it, if you have a small number, sometimes people put their numbers on their breastplate of their horse, or if you're in dressage, a small number at the side on their bridle. Make sure that the judge or the in-gate person can see the number before you get into the ring. It's really important. So overall, how do you feel about this? I think this person is really ready to get into the show ring, don't you? You can see that she's dressed nicely. She's got a jacket on. She's suitably dressed with a jacket. She's got something around her neck, which is a necessary thing. Black gloves. Very important here. If you're using black gloves, here's a good tip. If you're using black gloves, you can see how your hands disappear into the horse's neck, which is good if your hands aren't very still. Wear dark gloves. If you wear white gloves, you'll draw attention to your hands, and unless your hands are really good, then they will be a distraction and show your weakness possibly. Not quite sure what show they're going in. She's got a large pad here, so maybe it's a dressage show. In the hunters, you usually are required to have a shaped saddle pad that goes around the saddle and then comes up in behind the cantle here. So maybe she's showing in dressage, in which case it would be fine. One thing that is concerning me about her attire is her helmet. The helmet does not have, or it doesn't appear to have, a chin strap on it. So it may mean that it could mean that it's not an approved helmet, in which case she's not supposed to be riding without an approved helmet. Important to note that if you are riding, helmets are required, and it should be an approved helmet. It should have a stamp inside, an ASTM stamp or an SEI stamp saying that it has been tested and approved. So let's go through the checklist. And if you want a copy of the checklist, I put a link down in the description of a checklist that you can download and follow along. Checklist is in the description. So first things first, what I really like is she's looking up and looking forward. This is so apparent here that she's got her head up, looking forward. Maybe there's another horse there. Maybe she's looking where she's going. Not sure. Like that her shoulders are back and her shoulders are directly over top of her hips, which is directly over top of her heels. So there's a straight line, ear, shoulder, hip, heel. And this is exactly where you want to be. Nicely done there. I like that from her shoulders, her elbows are hanging down, and there's a soft bend in her elbows right here with her hands just in front of the saddle. And there's a straight line, elbow, hand, horse's mouth. Continuing on, her seat is in the middle of the saddle with a relaxed knee, nice bend in her knee with the weight down into her ankle, toes up with her foot in the stirrup. Looks like her foot, if I can just make it a little bigger here, foot is just kind of hanging on there, baby toe near the outside branch of the stirrup, but I think she could have it not so twisted on her foot so much, the saddle. It does looks like your left hand is a little bit higher, and she's kind of twisting a bit through her shoulders. Her right shoulder looks a bit forward, so try to keep yourself square with your shoulders, square with the horse's shoulders, and your hips square with the horse's hips. Let's talk about the horse for a little bit. This horse looks very calm and relaxed. When you're looking at a horse or watching a horse go, whether it's dressage or hunter, you'd like to see the top of the horse's neck longer than the bottom of the horse's neck. We've all seen those horses that have that big bulge underneath the horse's neck, usually from pulling up against the martingale. And they get this bulge, and it makes the horse's bottom of the neck look longer. So when you're riding, think of having the horse's top of the neck longer than the bottom of the neck. You can see this quite clearly. This is the top of the horse's neck is longer than the bottom of the neck. And if you're watching horses go, this is one way that you can tell if they're going all right. His head seems a bit low. I like to have the pole as the highest part and the horse's nose on the vertical. He's slightly behind the vertical, so he needs just to be going a little bit more forward. Generally speaking, love the way this rider's working. She's working in a correct, balanced riding position. Straight line, ear, shoulder, hip, heel, nicely done. Straight line, elbow, hand, horse's mouth. We'd like to have the horse going forward a little bit more, just to bring his pole up ever so slightly, so at least the pole in line with the withers. You could see he's kind of dropped his head down a little bit, and we just want to bring his pole up a little bit here. So keep your legs on, keep riding them forward. You're doing a wonderful job. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, or if you'd like to get your own riding checklist, send me an email, thistleridge@hotmail.com. If you want your own riding checklist, there's a link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks now. Bye.